yesterday, you would know. In the meantime, while we're trying to get our video and everything fixed right here on Kaieteur Radio, President Ali urged police force to find ways to win public trust, announced 2 weeks bonus housing program for ranks, and you will know that that he would have met there with the police. And it's a very, very, very serious issue. I draw parallel to what is happening at GRA yesterday. The finance minister, senior finance minister, Dr. Ashley Singh, would have met with GRA officials and tell them, got to up your service, you got to maybe a little more efficient than what you're doing. And this is the kind of language that we need to hear and make it very, very public when it comes to what is happening in this country. So yesterday, Irfan Ali, as the president of Guyana, would have met with the police during a breakfast meeting, and he says that you got to find ways. He challenged the police force to find ways to win public trust. I didn't see the use of the word back there, to win back, because I'm not sure. Growing up, he always had that fear and something is going on rotting in the police force. And there were attempts by various commissioners over the years. But I think the problem with commissioners that they would have had is that they got bogged down with the system. You can't beat the culture that's there in the police force. You need something different. You need some very strong individuals there who's going to sit on top of that police force and ensure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so just bear with us a little while we try to get our video fixed. In the meantime, I think the boys, the technicians, are hard at work at it. They told me that it is there. We apologize for that. Normally everything is all good and dandy. You can't control what happens to the internet, of course. But what we could tell you is that Ali, as the president, would have told the police, find ways to win the public's trust. He also announced, like the army, 2 weeks bonus for the police, and says that we're working on some specific projects that is going to see housing programs and so for the ranks of the Guyana police force, and a couple of other things. You're going to see increased benefits within the next 5 years. So you're going to see incrementally a number of benefits here. West Beach serial killer gets 2 life sentences. There's no mitigating factor that goes in your favor. The judge would have told this man here. And this killer here would have done some crazy things. He would have set fire to a building, I think, with the people inside. Some stories I just don't like reading, especially when it comes to domestic violence. If there's a killing or anything, or things involving children, I don't. But this particular case, something drew me to it, and I was looking at it. The man went into the house, ate the people food, defecated in the place, and then, of course, would have killed them, tortured and killed them. And he did not to one person, but 3 persons, a man and his wife, and then another woman. And so he was part of a gang. So very sadistic, and it was very clear that the judge was extremely shocked. The court was extremely shocked by this entire affair here. And they would have said, we can't tolerate something like that. And the judge basically threw the book at him. 2 life sentences for this man here. And it's a shame that we actually have such thing. But in mitigation, when they were explaining about the background, because we always have to look at the causes. If we want to fix the problems in this country, you've got to look at the cause, whether it's poverty, whether it's corruption that would have caused this, whatever is the reasons, we have got to look at the causes and try to fix it. And I did receive a call from some participant of this week's Ethnic Relations Commission's forum there, in which they're discussing the ethnic relations situation in Guyana and trying to come up with what are some of the causes and how do we move forward from here with some of the resolutions. And so we've got to understand why people commit crimes and things like that. We should not. I think if you talk to Glenn Lyle, and he's going to be telling you a couple of things, like, for example, people are not, poverty speaks a lot to how people behave. If somebody sees you have bread on your table, they don't have the bread, they're going to come and get it from you if they got to feed the family. Is it justifiable? Is it right? That is besides the point. What is important is that is what poverty does to people in Guyana when they don't have it. There's some people who are going to go get it. Others, they give by, they struggle, they eke out a living, and that's about it. So we got to pay attention to this. So there was some other cases with this gentleman being involved. I raised that with you because while there is that one side of the story, we're very angry, we want justice and things like that. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, we have got to make sure that we continuously pay attention to what is happening in this beautiful country of ours. Here is a big story for you. Commercial fishermen will lose access to some far out fishing areas during the Payar project. I did tell you that there was an investigation being done by this newspaper, Kaieteur newspaper here, about the fishing industry. And what we finding now, there's a drop, but a tremendous, almost a 40% drop. So almost like half of your living gone there. If you're earning $100,000 and somebody half your salary, or maybe 40% of your salary gone, that's a big thing for you. It's going to have impacts on not only your business, but the way you operate, but how you pay yourself and how you live and things like that. And so there's a big drop in the amount of fish that people are catching, the fishermen, but also some areas around that area where they're drilling for oil there, they would probably not have access to it. And so these are the deep waters that a couple of fishermen, like the ones who have the capacity to fish in deep waters, they're going to lose those areas. So this is what they're saying. But Exxon is saying that the impact on livelihoods will be negligible. Let's see how this goes, because you tell that to the man out in the street who's seeing that the catches are dropping, and therefore they're going to be taking home less, paying the workers less. Maybe have to send off a couple of workers. This is not what we would like for this country here. I mean, if the fallout is negligible, but if it's widespread across an industry which has been raking in millions and millions of dollars every year in foreign countries for the people of Guyana, then we have to be very careful. You can't forsake, and you cannot, throw away the baby with the bathwater, as thinkers say. You got to make sure that you do the right thing. Emergency medical medicine specialist promotes in ivermectin in personal COVID-19 prevention plan. And we've been doing a series here as to some of the things that we could do, because America is battling with it right now. They had the one biggest one they gained in the United States. I was looking at the news this morning with regards to COVID-19, and the hospitals are filling up. It's in the midst of winter here right now, and what we have happening, snow falling and so on. That is a nice place for the COVID-19 to fester, to spread and things like that. And so they would have to pay attention. In the meantime, we have to pay attention. A country that has very little resources and have to borrow to fight its COVID-19 pandemic is in a bad place. And that is not only Guyana alone, all across the world. But Guyana, we're more concerned with Guyana because this is where we live. $523 million in DNI, drainage and irrigation equipment, ordered from three companies. And but the minister threatens to write tender board blacklisting on the performing contractors. I like this kind of language here from Zulfikar Mustafa, the Minister of Agriculture. Tell companies, do not allow companies to be bidding. You could bid, but you're not going to get anything. If you are underperforming, you have a history, a bad track record, and you would have known companies who would have received millions and millions of dollars are not delivering. It's as if being bad, you have rewards for that. And that is what you see happening in this country here. Got to be very, very careful and be very, very serious about how we managing our monies and how we do things in this place of ours. So wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, I want to say good day to the folks overseas. I know that snow is upon you and you're finding it hard. A lot of snow falling right now. Some key places, New York, and so I see a lot of people sending me pictures and so. But of course, right across this beautiful land of ours, I know that there is heightened activities due to the Christmas environment, due to the Christmas preparations. Yes, like I've said before, the pandemic has put some hardship on us, but nothing stopped Guyanese in the tracks. They need to do whatever it is that they do, and so they are all over the place. They are on Regent Street, they're in Berbice, Scribble, and they're shopping. And a few families would have gone overseas, taken advantage, and gone to do some shopping there. But to be very careful, whatever it is that you're doing. Wear your mask, sanitize up, and we go down very quickly into some of the things that we have in the newspaper here. Intercepted Letem commander ranked still on duty as GRE continues investigation. And this would have been the case. The commander who came from Letem with over 30 cartons of liquor, 30 cases of liquor. I think 30 cases would have been of Blackstone whiskey, and the rest of them would have been other assorted things, including cologne. And so, he brought that for his family. So somebody has a very big appetite drinking, but he's still in the job. GRA would have stopped him after he would have passed a couple police couple checkpoints. Who's going to stop the commander if he's passing? So they're saying to him, he's on the job. His ranks are in the job, and GR is investigating. I'm not sure what's the story there. If you are something like this happened, whether you were interdicted from duty or whatever. Woman killed after car slams intermediate, and this was a story that I did see going home 2 nights back, and I did see around 11 o'clock in the evening at Houston there. This car was mashed, and it was there, smoke coming from it, and people were lying on the ground. I didn't stop it because it was terrible looking at what I was seeing there. And a woman has died, Amina Suklal, I think she's from Eccles or somewhere there. And it's very, very sad. Providence, rather. Very sad for the family there. And we seem to be getting this road accidents and increasing it. You got to pay very close attention to that. A man gets 15 years of killing for wings and things, killing. And he gunned down somebody at the Wings and Things on Mandela Avenue. I think that's maybe a barbecue place. He killed somebody there, and now he's been convicted of it. So we got to be very, very careful how you about the place. Always keep your eyes peeled. Pay attention. Do not allow your guards to be dropped. Because it is when you least expect it. I mean, there's only so much that you could do. COVID death toll now at 158. They said that a 93-year-old man and a 72-year-old woman both died while receiving things. So there's two latest deaths. So the death toll is mounting. Yes, it's been on a slowdown a little in the last couple of weeks after a very horrific, I think it was October month. It was one a deadly month, October. They would have been able to drag it back somewhat, but every so often, every couple of days, you're hearing somebody else dying and so on. And I did talk about the traffic accident. 5 injured in Berbice, 5 vehicle smash up there, and so this vehicle wrapped around the post. It split it. I am not sure what is it. I understand he was overtaken and smashed into this post here in West Berbice and just split it there. So battered 6-year-old awake and responsive. Police awaiting advice for DPP. I'm not sure. This is a situation that has me a little conflicted. When I saw that little girl from East Kanji whose mother allegedly beat her and dropped her into the swamp, dumped her into the swampy area not too far from the home. Because the little girl was not listening to her. She picked up a wood and allegedly beat that little girl. Now she's in custody. The father and the mother separated, and the father was supposed to pick up the girl on the day that happened early this week, a few days back. What we do know is that that woman is in custody, 25 years old. But what I would like to say here, they need to do some kind of analysis on her to find out whether she's all right. A lot of people are very affected in some way or the other. No excuses here, but was she in her right senses? Because when people do things like that, it is more than often that we could come to some conclusions that somebody got to be wrong. You got to be wrong in your head for something like this happen. So they really need to do it instead of just putting an attempted murder charge on her to find out whether she is all right and maybe what is some of the maybe medical treatment for her. It is my feeling about it. Now, there's another issue that happened on the East Coast about 2 nights back with the arrest of a relatives of the Henry boys. This man here was driving, and he's one of the relative for the Henry boys. And at Sparnam, they were pulled in, and there was a scuffle behind the police officer, behind the police ranks. And this man here, after the found that he was without his license, well, the police did put out a statement yesterday and pointed to the relevant laws that that the police were provoked. Basically, that's what they're saying. But they also pointed out something very important, and we're going to have a discussion on this in a very short while. That if you're found to be without your driver's license, it is an offense. However, in that particular case, the question that is before the table, that's on the table right now, what are ticketable offenses, meaning that you don't have to be taken to the station, and what are not. And so I am going to be pulling up a couple of those things and reading it to you so you can understand. So when a policeman stop you, you say, sir, you give me my ticket and let me go down the way. Do not pay them any bribe, as we know that you would want to do. Pay your ticket, pay your fines. You do it, you do the crime, you got to pay the fine, and it's a crime. It's an infraction, and so you got to be very careful. But we're going to talk a little about that. But the police, in this particular case here, they're not without blame, because if you take away, I'm not saying that the man should be scrambling with the police. I'm talking about leading up to what happened there. If the man doesn't have it, what do you do? I would take him out of the car and say, you come back with your license and we hold the car or something. But we can't allow the man to continue driving if there's no license. But according to the story, the man did produce what seems to be a license on his phone and show them, look, boss man, this happens to be my license. Somebody has snapped it. I left it home, and I'm from the Henry Boyce family. I mean, there could be some flexibility from the police side, and maybe he come back the next day. And if you don't, you issue, something could happen. There's a ticket there. There's something that the commander could always do, because as commanders, as police, we've got to learn to use the little brains, the little gray cell that we have there, to see what our people is. Not just about punishment. Punishment doesn't work all the time. We've got to. That's why our prison system is so messed up. We start looking at prisoners as prisons as a punishments, and it cannot be. If we continue to do that, all the countries that are developed around the world now are looking at prisoners or inmates to how you say it, to rebuild what they have there, to give them a skill. They're looking at it as a remedial place. And there's some other words that you could use to describe what is happening there. But when you go to prison, they look to make you ready to re-enter society as a model citizen, or to have the necessary skills so you could be able to earn something honestly and decently. And that is how we need to start doing it. So there's many things that we need to start looking if you want to raise the quality or the bar of the quality of living in this country of ours. We will pause there right now, because I think we do happen to have some breaks right now, some ads we have a lot of listeners, companies tuned into us, and they want to ensure that they are part of the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. We are going to take a break right now. When we come back, our number for you to call is 226-7453, 226-7453, and you could text us whatever it is bothering you. If you just want to make a comment about something, 6222222. We will see you in a very short while. Do not touch those dials.
Sleep in comfort this Christmas with a certain mattress from Singer. Buy a king-size mattress for the price of a queen and a queen size for the price of a double. Singer, at home, worldwide.
Get ready. Singer and Frigidaire are bringing you enough winnings. 4 lucky customers will win their share of $1 million in appliances from Frigidaire when they shop at Singer. Purchase any Frigidaire item from Singer to get the chance to be one of 4 winners of Frigidaire store credit valued $250,000 each. With weekly draws, the earlier you shop, the more chances you have to win. Glam up your kitchen. Fix up your laundry. Get enough winnings with Singer and Frigidaire. Promotion ends December 21, 2020.
Yes, thank you very much, and welcome once again to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. We're coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio. I want to say good day to all our business people right across Guyana, in your stores. If you're shopping, I want to say good day. I hope that you're getting some good business right now. I hope that the workers, the employers, even if it's a little something, give them something. It's been a very tough year on business all around. But we have to look after our people, give them something to smile at least, something that it could be less stressful this year, and let them do some shopping to make some of their kids and the family, the loved ones, have a little easier time this Christmas here compared to the last couple of months in which the days were dark because of the pandemic and the elections and so on, we should have something to smile about as we march right into 2021, and things should be looking up for us as we try to battle this pandemic and bring a closure to it. So we do happen to have a call right now in the studio. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. Could you lower your volume on your radio, please?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I am calling for this Hayabo Creek, Dora.
You calling from all the way from Dora? Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Yes. Many problems, but I'm glad I received the 25, but I wanted to know the children's money now when it will be distributed.
Which that's the $4,000.
No, they have 15,000 or whatever they were.
There is
promised
a
the children.
$4,000 per child right now. I think the Ministry of Education is giving out to all right across this country. I know they're in various regions. I'm not
Okay.
aware that there's some other 15,000. I know that there's going to be some more money that is coming. I think that's next year. But there's a
Okay.
$4,000 that they're doing. I'm not aware of any $15,000.
Okay, Mr. Giller. Anyhow, listen to this story. I brought up a little girl when she was 5 months old. And
You
she
took
was
what?
just
You did what?
brought up a girl. Our mind she has.
Oh, your
a
mind share.
child.
Yes.
Her mother died. Her father died. I brought she up. Her mother gave me before she died, and just something. I'm not nobody to her, but I took this. I begged her if she's going to give me the check. She said yes. So I transferred it from Georgetown. You go to South Road, the Dorothy Clinic, and transfer it this way to Long Creek. I mind her, brought her up at the age of 13 years, and just 1 year plus this month make 1 month, 1 year plus from school. She got away from me. I get weary spending my little money to go and report it to the police and the welcome, welfares and etc. They told me she'll be back home. She's young and etc. Now I'm surprised they are calling me now at the hospital that she has a baby now.
This little girl, how old is this girl?
And she's only 14 years. She going to tell them she's 15, but it's not 15. So the problem
Do
is
you know
that,
who the father is or something?
no, Mr. Gillard, that's what I want to know. How she got this baby? She was not living with me for 1 year plus.
Who was she living with?
I heard somebody in Swan, some lady called me too, but I don't know her. But they don't want they want I to go and uplift some letter at Human Services and take it to the hospital that she will be discharged. But I want to know.
No,
Mr.
but you
Gildarie,
need to raise this matter here with childcare, because if it's a 14-year-old, I think something went wrong there, and that's on the girl is underage, and she's not legally responsible for any actions that she would have taken. Meaning, getting pregnant, that's rape.
Yeah, yes, that is it. So what should I do now is to take the letter, uplift the letter, by the way, and get to the hospital. And
while you're there, while you're there with the ministry, ask them for direction to the childcare. The childcare is located right on Broad Street, right around the corner from myself here, and try to raise this matter with them, because obviously you would want to know that this girl is safe, that she's been taken care of. But it could be that somebody is taking advantage of her. Definitely somebody take advantage. When you sleep with a little girl, when you have a kid with a little girl, or the little kid is left pregnant, it is against the law. It is against the laws. That child need to be protected.
Yes. And next to Mr. Gildarie, I'm living here 20 years in this 100 acre by a man named Idris Whitington, and he is in London. Leave me as an occupier by a letter or whatever you call it. And many times I go and I get a piece of land, former president time, and you could say 20 years. They always put in my phone number. They go call me. I want my own piece of land.
How long you put in for your land? How long you put in for your land?
I put it twice through the PVP before the 15 election and then Granger time, and now again. So I don't know. I do up and down. We don't have a job, but I would like to have my own land.
All right. Well, maybe sometime if you could forward, you could find a way of forwarding your name and the address or so, and I could forward it to the minister, Colin Crowell, and have them look into it. But they are looking at a specific period. I think that they're trying to find lands, one, and two, I think they're going in a specific order to give it to the people who would have put in the first instance would have be the one who are going to be given priority. But I'm almost sure that somewhere along the ministry, because everybody has an urgent need to get those lands, but I'm sure that the ministry, you could find out what's the status of your thing and they could probably give you an idea so you could have those expectations.
Okay, Mr. Gildarie. All right. Thank you very much for. I listen to your radio sometimes. I live in darkness, no lights, but I have a little generator. Sometimes I cannot afford that. Sometimes when it is charged, sometimes I get a little dollar to buy a battery, and so right now I'm listening yesterday. And sometimes tomorrow it's
Where you
gone
get where
again.
you get your battery from? That's from the government?
No, I call it battery, the small batteries that the radio carries.
All right. Well, I think the government, maybe you could apply to, I think it's the Prime Minister's office who's in charge of some solar projects there for the hinterland areas and so on. Maybe you could be applicable to that. Maybe you could apply to them. There's a Prime Minister's office right next door to Christchurch on Camp Street. If you ever in Georgetown, he has an office right next door to Christchurch School on Camp Street, not too far from G area there.
Okay, yes, I know it's weird, yes.
Yeah, you just go in there
Thank
and
you,
tell them
Mr.
you want
Gildarie.
a solar. And if I don't talk back to you, ma'am, may you have a good Christmas and enjoy yourself. And even things may look a little dark, enjoy yourself, right? Don't
Yeah,
overdo the
well,
though.
I heard you said it yesterday, and here I have little three more kids growing up. My grand niece, they have no father to same thing accident, they die. So I brought them as like my babies. My big children are big, they're married up. They cannot look into me, men. I
You
try
know
my
what?
best. I just
What's your
complain.
name? What's your name? And how old are these kids?
One is 5 years. She's motherless, fatherless. Well, I know this one died, and I'm getting hard with the birth certificate. That's the next thing, Mr. Gildarie.
You come down and see me
Hard.
one of these days, maybe just after Christmas. Come in early in the new year, very early in the new year. And I would call
Yes.
some authorities and twist some arms and see how we could probably do something. But I want to say to you, I listened to your story there, and I want to say to you, I think you're a very brave woman, and I admire and respect you for doing
I
your
am.
duty, right? I want you to
I
know
am.
that.
I like that plenty. And I make sure my tears must come when I speak in. Next thing, Mr. Gildarie, well, I don't have a job. Can I, this 100 acre, can I go into forestry to get a paper like, okay, because I just cut little wood and select t-shirt,
You could do anything. You
firewood.
could do anything you want, ma'am. As a citizen of this country, you have some rights and you could do anything. And if you have a problem, like I said before, you get hold of me and let me see what I could do because I believe that our citizens should be given first preference in this land of ours. And I'm sure that the ministers would want to accommodate somebody who has a story like yourself. You have a
Yes.
beautiful story there, and I admire and respect, and I think Guyana would love you because of what you've said there and what you've done. All right?
Yes. I'm
Thank you very
proud of
much, ma'am.
that I am Amerindian and I always dress up when heritage come.
Yes,
That,
ma'am. And whenever
yes.
you're here, you come check me out. And I love you very much, and you enjoy this Christmas here. All right?
Yes, Mr. Gildery. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Bye bye. And that's such a beautiful story there. There's nothing that really gets to me when I hear stories like that. Our people in this country of ours. Um, uh, uh, when we see that our people, our decent people, our senior citizens, and everybody doing what they have to do to ensure that they are playing their role. And when you see, she's so very positive. She has a big burden. She doesn't have a job and things like that, but she's very positive. And I want to say to that woman there, I love the way that you are so positive. But in the meantime, we are going to tell you 6222222 is where you send those messages to. And of course, we could tell you that we will be opening the lines to have those calls in a very short while again. Let me just read to you what it says here. And I'm going to think there's about 35 instances in which the police force says that you could be I think when it comes to ticketable offences. But Part 5 of the, I think, is the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. Any person producing his license under the preceding subsection shall, if requested to do so, declare his present address, and if he refuses, shall be guilty of an offense. Maybe we need to revamp these laws, because what does it say if you do not do what you're supposed to do? License of drivers and provisions as to the disqualifications of drivers and endorsements of license. A person shall not drive a motor vehicle on a road unless he is a holder of a driver's license, and a person shall not employ any person to drive a motor vehicle on a road unless the person so employed is a holder of a driver's license. And if that person acts in contravention of this section, but it got to be she too, shall be guilty of an offense. Any person driving a motor vehicle on the road, including any person who supervises that person while driving, shall, on being required by a police constable, produce his license for examination so as to enable the police constable to ascertain the name, the address of the holder of the license, the date of issue, and the authority by which it was issued. And if he fails to do so, he shall be guilty of an offense. Now, the problem is it a ticketable offense? Is it an arrestable offense? If I forget, I took off my wallet, my driver's ID is in my wallet, and I forget my wallet home, but I'm driving, the car is mine because the insurance is there, and so the documents are in the car, and I can't produce my license. Then I call the wife at home, and I says, could you send me a copy of my license? She goes into the wallet, take a picture of it, sends it to me. And I say to the policeman, this is my driver's license. Could I send it, could I bring my driver's license tomorrow? And the policeman says, no, you got to stay in the station until it is brought here. I mean, we got to know where to draw the line and when not to draw the line. We talk about discretion on part of the police force and so on. What is and what is not. Because when people call you, there's all kinds of things that's so very wrong with the police force here, right here in Guyana. And we got to be very, very firm. We got to be very serious when we see things happening like this and the police. I think in this particular case, what makes it not easy, or what made it not easier, was the fact that the lawyer for the family, I think Nigel Hughes, issued a statement that, on any given day, and he may be able to argue differently, or he will argue differently. But I must criticize that at that particular time, his statement issued did not lend to too much of a helpful situation, especially in these dark times, and when we are now talking about ethnic relations in Guyana and so on. It comes across wrong. Some people are reading it wrong, and some people are pushing it as if it's an issue of ethnicity and things like that. It is not. The policemen, have your license, come into the station, maybe they don't understand what is it that they have to do. But they compounded by issuing a statement like the way it happened 2 nights ago. I don't even want to talk about it, but it gives us, you have to ensure before you leave the home, your car is in good condition. You check your lights, the tires all right, and things like that. I saw a man on a phone yesterday driving, and his wheel is flat, and I'm not sure how he didn't realize, because if you're driving and the tire is bad, or it is going down, you would feel it. The car is going to go in a funny way. And it was a little while after then he realized that the car wheel was soft, and he pulled into the car and he was on his phone. So things can happen, but if you're leaving home, there's no excuse for you not to have your documents and things like that. I understand that mistakes are going to happen, and in those cases, the police force has to do things in a little better way. There must be rules of engagement, and it cannot be, for you, let me give you a license, let me give you a ticket for that offense, and then for the others, could you follow me to the station? They hold on to your license and the documents, or follow me to the station. You have to follow the man to the station because you got your documents. If you go home without it and another police stop you, well, then you have some issues. If you drive away and send a couple of police, then you're escaping from, all kind of things could happen. So in this particular case here, the commander and the commissioner of police need to take stock of the situation, and they need to correct some of these things. And I think the police force yesterday was very quick on the response that, let us see how we could correct this, because it doesn't do well. It's not a good thing, and I'm going to say to you, they need to correct it, and correct it very, very quickly. let me just before we do that, we are going to go to some calls right now. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello. Okay, we don't happen to have that. Let's go very quickly to some of the messages. I know that everybody wants to send some messages on to us here. Good day to you, Mr. Leonard Gildarie. Thank you for being such an excellent presenter, my friends, and I thank you for the Wake Up Guyana show. It's one of the best. However, please do not allow two persons suffering from verbal diarrhea to your radio program in their toilet. Thank you very much. Yes, and I think what the people have been asking is that we limit, if you call in through to the radio station, limit your presentation very quickly, allow others to come on, so everybody has a chance, because this is your voice. But do not hog, do not dominate it, because I am a very nice person. I don't know how to say no to people, but use your conscience. All right, let's be nice. So we're gonna be nice, and we're gonna have a very nice time here. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Quick question for the police. I've noticed that the past few months there's a cycle that's working with electric power roaming around the public road in a very dangerous manner, without a number plate, but no helmets on the rider. These youths riding these cycle in a very dangerous manner on the public road. I think the police should be looking into this situation. I'm talking about the west coast of Berbice and the Black Bush, the Bush Lot and neighboring villages. Let me tell you, I think vehicles, license, let me see, no, sorry, what am I saying? Motorcycles under 50cc, you're not required to wear a helmet, but you're required to have a license to ride it around the place. That's what I know. And of course, it has to have some insurance to it. You can't just ride it. It's a motor vehicle or a motorcycle there. If it's an electric cycle now, that's another issue. I'm not sure our law speaks about electric cycles and things like that. I'm going to have to ask the police force to probably talk about that. And I know that there are many, couple of them around the place that people have been riding. But thank you very much for that. So in the meantime, do we have a call in line? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Okay, we missed that one there very quickly. 226-7453. 226-7453. You can call that number there. Do we have a call online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Lawyer Radio, please. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go
Good
ahead.
afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
That incident that happened the other day with the police and the Henry family.
Yes, sir.
I think, Mr. I'm a driver, and I was at Pleasant Station. They stopped me. I didn't have my license, and he come to me. He asked me, because normally there's always got a roadblock at Pleasance, right by Pleasance there. This always actually every afternoon there's got a roadblock. And he come to me, and I told him I don't have my license. He tell me go in the station, park the vehicle, and go in the station. He can come to me just now. So I park my vehicle, and I go in the station. When I go in the station, he come to me, and he asks me why I don't have my license. I said, man, look, I forget my license home, and, because I was busy, to come out to the house to go to work, and I forget my license home. So like that, so come, I ain't got to tell me. He tell me, okay, I give you certain time to bring in your license. Right? He take my vehicle, number, he take my name, he take my address, etc., etc. But it's not really Gildarie. People is blame the police at sometimes, which we know this wrong. If the police come to you and the police tell you, bring, you have your license, don't have your license, all you got is to come out the vehicle, in the station, what happened, all you got to do is do the decent thing. Come, go in the station, but what happened there, it was a confession to police.
I agree with you, because when I did look at the video, one of the things that I've always said, but go ahead, because I can address it after this.
I don't want to stay long because I heard just some people said they must be a toilet.
Yes.
It's a conversation between he and the police. He tried to react. He showed the police, yes, he licensed for the telephone. If I'm a police officer for license for the telephone, But the police tell you, I know go was gone, you know. I spot the shit going on. The police tell he to go in, and he starts a conversation with the police, and then the police, you know, they have heard it already, and so come the start. If he did come out and do the decent thing, like what I did do, would not happen.
Right. I think there's so many things that's wrong here. The people were wrong because anytime you allow a citizen to believe that it's okay to raise your hand on a police and chuck a policeman, it
Good.
speaks to the very foundation of law and order in a country. Don't let we can't mix up this thing, you know. But go ahead because that is the
No,
foundation
I
of
don't
it.
want to say that because that's what happened.
Right.
You know, that, and then you see this thing. You know, I would say, but people might not agree with me. Other listeners might not agree with me. It becomes now, you understand, that they know that what happened to their family, you understand, and when they know what happened to the family, it becomes now a political problem.
Yes,
It
because
escalates
that's the
to
story that's
political.
being told. If you see the lawyer issued a statement, and it
Good.
look as if, you know, these people were targeted because they were the Henry people. I mean, I don't understand that. And you look at it, you
That's it.
compare, that's madness.
That's it. So it tells me now that touching the enemy family them now would be a problem.
But the
Or
police
there's
also need to
a
look at
problem.
themselves too, right? It's a two-way
Yes, I'm
street,
sure.
and the police need to look at themselves here too.
I'm not doubting that.
Uh-huh.
I'm with you with that. I'm with you with that.
Uh-huh.
As I said before, the police they attack the top on the road.
Right.
Yes, because if they come out and go away and usually police tell you got to, you understand, that would not happen. But he resisting the arrest. He resisting everything.
And they were
So
fighting.
that's
They
the
actually were
problem.
fighting with the police. I look at this thing. I mean, I couldn't understand.
Because he biked in the police and he squeezed the police and all them nonsense. You know, so the police, as we rightly said, the police, they are there too. And it's who make them attend it. It's you, the same civilian, make them attend it.
Right. I hear what you're saying, and thank you very much. Sorry if I don't talk back to
I
you.
don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep people. I don't want to stay long on the phone. Thank you very much, man.
Hey, Mike, if I don't talk back to you, enjoy your Christmas, you and your family, and a good year to you coming up too, okay? Thank you very much, dear. And so very quickly, and yes, we come back to two very fundamental things, which is what I'm going to say. You have absolutely no right to raise your hands on a policeman. The policeman is a representative of law and order in this country. Domestically, they're in charge of keeping the peace. That's why you call them peace officers too. I think the United States they would call them that because they're there to keep the peace. And so when you're there, you raise your hands on them. You're actually striking at the very heart of what the society stands for or looking for, which is protection. And they are the representative of protection. Forget what else bad things that they do. There's systems and the ways how you could do it. I mean, I could remember Ryan Crawford, the attorney at law, and he and I became friends, and I did haul him up on the coals for this because I couldn't understand that you were there. I mean, everybody frustrated. We know what the police do, at least some police do. And you're there, the man stop you, and he let loose with them, and that's how Ryan Crawford became very famous in Guyana as an attorney because he took on the police and he stood up and said to the police what a lot of people wanted to say. But the fundamental principle here is that he should not have been doing that. You know, there's a course, and he did apologize, and I like that, the fact that, you know, he decided to do the right thing, do the manly thing, do the thing that is right for the citizen of this country. And he apologized, and that's good for Ryan Crawford. And he showed that that he was a good citizen at the end of the day. There's a call in line. Good afternoon, caller. You're Diego, right ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Gildarie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, this is a very good program, a topic you're on now too. I just want to say that it got some policemen, I don't know if they went to school properly or some things like this. I could remember a time I was driving one of these haulers, and I coming from the rice place over my Coney side there.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I'm coming down with a container of rice exporting for the government.
Yes, sir.
And the police pulled me up at the just as I come over the bridge.
Mm-hmm. That's my hiker bridge here.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And I could remember the night before that we were working the ship, and I forget my license. I went change up my clothes when I went home. Forget my license in my pocket, and I went to work. Now when I didn't even realize that I didn't have my license for me, but we were hustling to get these rice out of the country, so I was coming. The police stopped me, and then when I catch myself, I didn't have the license. Anyhow, he take me to the station, and I explained to the sergeant, and the sergeant said, well, how would I know if you have a license? I said, well, sir, I have a license. I can tell you the license number. He said, well, call the license number. I call it out right away. Anyhow, he flex with me, and he tell me here, I got a charge you, right? And you're going to go and pay it at vigilance. I accept,
Yeah.
right? And he free me because he said, man, how am I going to drive in a big vehicle like this and don't have a license, and you working with a company to be sized?
That's
You know?
discretion, right? That's discretion.
That's right.
He uses
That's
discretion.
right.
Yeah.
You know, that is real. I would say that he's professional in his job. You know, and he flexed with me, and I went and I pay my fine, and that was it. You know, but it got some of them going to tell you they're going to take your license and tell you to drive to the station. No, sir, I am not driving. After you take my license, I would not drive to no station because it got unforeseen occurrences has happened. Sometimes I drive into the station, next thing you know, I knock down somebody.
Right,
Or I
right.
get in an accident. Then
Right.
you're going to tell me that as an unlicensed driver.
Right. All
You
kinds of things
understand?
could happen.
So you can't take me license and telling me drive to the station.
Right.
You drive with me to the station and let us go together. You can get me license for me. You know? These is ways some of these police should carry out the profession, but some of them I don't know what has really happened.
I hear what you're saying
But
there,
they
sir,
have
and
good
thank
ones.
you very
They
much.
have a lot of professional police in the force.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
telling
plenty.
you.
And they're hard working. I saw a photograph this morning of one of them trying to pull up a pothole somewhere by Wellington Street there in Georgetown.
Yeah.
And that policeman, I don't know who he is, but I want to say kudos to him. Whoever
That's
it is, they
right,
should give him
that's right,
immediate
yes.
promotion.
Yeah, me too. I respect them a lot because they do a good job, but it got some square pegs in wrong holes.
It's not
Still
square
there.
pegs and wrong hole.
That's
They're very efficient, but they're efficient at what they want to do. There's a
That's
big
right.
difference.
That's
Hey, man,
right.
thank you very much for coming through,
Thank
man,
you
and
very
take
much,
care,
Mr.
right?
Gildarie.
Have a
good
pleasant
day.
rest of the day and the season to you too.
Yeah, same to you, sir.
Thank you very much. What we have here, a message coming through. Sir, good day to you, your boss and listeners. The 8 wonders of the world is, I wonder if you'd ever get back with your oil blocks. Sir, it's totally unjust to rob Guyanese in this manner. Just compare what occurred after the attempts to rig an election, when the whole world stood against it and said that is wrong, that why aren't the same people standing up to say what is wrong in the case of oil blocks giveaway. Sir, thank you, blessings. And I think you should know that this evening, the Vice President of Guyana, Bart Jagdeo, is going to be appearing in the Guyana's Oil and You with host Kiana Wilberg. There's our senior reporter right here on Kaieteur News rather. And also appearing there and of course expected to ask a lot of hard-hitting questions because he has a lot of questions, would be our publisher Glenn Lyland. He's going to be there. So Mr. Jagdeo is going to, he's very well articulate on these issues here, but Glenn is also not a very good person when it comes to asking the right questions because he's a businessman at the end of the day. So a lot of these questions we expect it to be it's supposed to be an explosive kind of forum this evening, and I will be listening in, and I think that's 7:20 right here on Kaieteur Radio, 7:20 p.m. So don't you miss it this evening. Let us hear, because the Kaieteur newspaper would have been dominated by some of the news with regards to oil the last couple of years, asking the hard question, making comparison what is happening elsewhere with regards to oil, because Nigeria, a big oil country around the world, one of the biggest in fact, dire need of a good economy there because of what has happened, how they have been given the short end of the stick. We only have to look at the Trinidad and Venezuela there, and you have an idea what we're talking about. So if you can get us right, you don't have to be bothering about 25,000 or 15,000 like that lady says, and 4,000 and so on. You're going to be right up there with the most developed country in the world with good quality of living, and you don't have to worry about 192 car or something, or a Premio. You could be driving a SUV according to Glenn Lal, right? So this evening you tune into that. Leonard, good afternoon. Can I drive with a photocopy of a ID, driver's license? I would not recommend it. They said you must have your driver's license on you, and I'm going to stick with that. Maybe, like I said before, if you reach up a good police officer who's willing to flex, how many of them do you know? I wouldn't say take the chance, because you're never going to tell when the police are going to stop you. I want to do the right thing. I can't afford to do anything, because I am always not rude, but I always ask the questions that they don't like. And so sometimes if I do anything wrong, I don't like asking for favors to come. One time I surprised them. I was heading to Berbice, and I surprised them and I said, could you hurry up and give me my driver's license and sign the ticket? He said, where do you work? I said at Kaieteur News. He says, you're Mr. Gildarie? I said, yes. He says, man, take a break. Please don't do it again. Don't ever do it again. And that's how you get away from that. But how many persons, do what's the right thing? Good afternoon, caller, you on the air. No, there's no caller right now. Let me see. Leonard, may Allah continue to bless my fellow Guyanese. So let's be real. Guyanese people must stop discussing race as if it's their dilemma. All races thief, involved in corruption, crime, etc. But when it comes to income equality, blame yourself for your living conditions. When you go to the Chinese supermarket, the Chinese man does not see race. What he sees are dollars and cents. Let my Afro-Guyanese in Guyana go to countries in Africa and see how Asians dominate all aspects of business on that continent. Instead of blaming another race for the living condition, blame yourself and your family. Plus, most of the politicians and business persons in Guyana marry Asians. Ask them why. Then they turn around and blame race for the dilemma of their voting bloc. May Allah bless the Republic of Guyana. Let me see, very good. Great police on the road. How about the commander for Region 9 using the police force to transport a large amount of alcohol? How come he was not detained? He's still on the job. Very good question. That question was raised. The police public relations officer says he is on the job. Right about now, we are going to be heading into a break in just a few moments. Do not touch those dials. When we come back, we are going to have more calls. And of course, you could continue sending those messages, 6222222. And the line that you're calling to is 2267453. Do not touch the dial. This is the Wake Up Guyana show with your host, Leonard Gildarie. We will be back with you very shortly.
Sleep in comfort this Christmas with a certain mattress from Singer. Buy a king-size mattress for the price of a queen and a queen size for the price of a double. Singer, at home worldwide.
Get ready! Singer and Frigidaire are bringing you enough winnings! 4 lucky customers will win their share of $1 million in appliances from Frigidaire when they shop at Singer. Purchase any Frigidaire item from Singer to get the chance to be one of 4 winners of Frigidaire store credit valued $250,000 each. With weekly draws, the earlier you shop, the more chances you have to win. Glam up your kitchen, fix up your laundry, get enough winnings with Singer and Frigidaire. Promotion ends December 21, 2020.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. I want to ask the housewives, how is it that you're making out for this Christmas? What is it that you're doing? How are you preparing? How are you making out with the pandemic and everything? I want to hear some housewives. Don't sit there just listening. It's a nice little show or something. I want to get an idea what has happened this Christmas, what has happened this year. We should not have a repeat of the pandemic. Any pandemic could come, but Guyana should be prepared. We're a rich country, very rich country. We should not have a repeat. Let me repeat that. We should not have a repeat of what happened this year, not from any politician, not from any pandemic period. Because why? We're very strong people, we're very rich people, and we have to ensure that we live those lives. So I'm faced with a dilemma right now, and in the coming days, I'm probably going to be telling you a little bit that as we wind down next year is going to have to be some critical decision where Gildarie is concerned. It has to do with health, it has to do with other stuff, and I'd have to make those decisions when the time comes. But in the meantime, what do you do? What do you do when it comes to you living your life? How do you make those decisions? When it comes to you looking forward to your family, is it that every year you're hoping to get a little bonus and things are going to be better and we're going to shop at courts and pay it out, and then next year shop at courts again and pay it out? Is that what you want? Is it that you want to be, eternally in the same vicious cycle? how is it that you could be able to see others are living and eat in the fancy restaurants and so on, and you are not being able to live that kind of life? Well, right now there's a call online. I'm hoping that call could tell me. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir.
I just have a little issue just now, man. I'm a car driver.
Yes, sir.
I was driving on the Quarantine Highway going up to the east side, going up to Rose Hall
Yes,
from
sir.
Amsterdam.
Uh-huh.
There was two traffic police at the junction of the Rose Hall public road. You know, you had a junction there by the arch.
Yes.
One was directing the traffic.
Uh-huh.
The other one was standing inside of him. The one directing the traffic called me, and I drive up.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pedestrian crossing. Somebody was standing up there, but he was directing the traffic. When I drive up, the other one stopped me. And he said if I didn't see the pedestrian, I said, but I observing the rule of the traffic officer standing up there, he directing the traffic, I got to do what he said.
Uh-huh.
So he said, go down to the corner, pull down to the corner.
Oh.
And he pulled me with another car and a motorbike.
How long ago was this?
Just now about 1:45.
Uh-huh.
So I said, he come to me, said, give me my license. Give me the license. I said, for what? He said, he's going to charge me for not stopping at the pedestrian, crossing. I told him, but the other officer told me to drive. Come up, drive up. What you want me to do? Who must I obey?
Uh-huh.
Or what must I do?
What
He
is...
said, if they give me the license, don't argue me. Don't argue. Give me my license.
Uh-huh.
I told him, listen. He said, I have to drive to the outpost. I said, the law said that I must not go there. If you have to charge me, you have to charge me here.
Right.
You know? Because I just listen to your program and I hear what you just said.
Right.
So I told him that I'm not going to the outpost.
Uh-huh.
I go in my car, drive out. He blocked me with the motorbike. He said, I can't go
Uh-huh.
in here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know? And when he came me to the outpost now with the other two guys, he charged me, but he didn't charge me for fail to stop at the pedestrian crossing. He charged me for be a disobedient or some disorderly behavior and I don't know what. So I told him, sir, I got yes, I take this charge, but I don't. You have to charge me for fail to stop at the pedestrian crossing. That's what you bring me here for.
Uh-huh.
He said, no, this is the charge you have to get.
So you have to go to court.
Yes.
You have to pay the is it a fine or are you going to answer that charge?
Is a fine he write on a ticket he give me, disorderly behavior.
You see, it's very difficult for you to find to challenge those kind of things. It's your word against.
No, I tell him, no, I'm not leaving this police station. You have to charge me for failing to stop at the pedestrian crossing. That's what you bring me here for. So then he go in and he write out another charge for failing to stop at the pedestrian crossing.
All right, hear what I'm going to say to you. And this is for all drivers who are listening to the program right now. Make sure that you find a way, if you get a family overseas or somebody, and try to invest on a Dashcam. The Dashcam, you stick it into a cigarette lighter, and you put there's a little camera that's on top. You stick it onto your screen, a little sticky thing. It helps a lot because it's your word against them. Because you know, I put one in my other car, and I believe that if anything goes wrong, any accident, and what's accident, I don't pick up to it.
Yeah.
But it is a good protection. It's a first line of defense that you would probably have in this your word against mine. But what you're saying there, I would not be surprised to hear other stories like that. But it is something that we have to live with because we have people who are not very honest, and like I said before, 2 and 3 sides to every story. But we have police officers or police ranks who are not very honest, and they use the powers.
Yeah, they feel. I told him, I said, brother, the officer is right beside of you. He told me to drive up, come up. So
Right.
Who you want me to take direction from?
Yes.
And now when he came to the station, he charged me. He said, get out of the station. You don't have anything here more to do. I said, why I must get out? I started up outside because I want to see you to charge you the 2 other guy. But he didn't charge him.
I hear you what you're saying. All right. Thank you very much, sir. And if I don't talk back to you, ensure that you have a good Christmas. You know, we got to make use of the little that we have. And a good year to you that's coming up to in 2021, all right?
Thank you so much for listening to
and thank you for listening too, sir.
You enjoy the holiday too.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And so here's a comment here. Season's greetings to you and everyone at Kaieteur Radio. I thank you for having this program. Ever since I started listening to this program, I'm gaining a little knowledge every day. I want to share something with women like myself. We're never too old to learn because I'm going to get myself a little more education from January for myself and my family future. I've been pushed around for a job for too long. Thank you very much, dear my lady. Let me tell you this. When I hear what women empowering themselves of getting, just don't sit around because you're a housewife. There's so many things that you can do, that you could uplift yourselves. Do not put yourself box into a corner. You get up early in the morning. You got to cook for the husband if you're a housewife or so. There's plenty things that you could do off your little own if you're controlling the money or so. A little money that you could do for a little kitchen garden, and plenty things that you could do that is going to upgrade. If you have internet in your home, the government recently introduced something called Coursera. I think the name of it, and that's what the online classes that, in the absence of the schools and the universities and everything being closed, you could go and do specific subject and get yourselves certificates at the end of the course that you participated, and you have you've successfully completed these courses. There are plenty things that you could do to uplift. So to that lady dear who has said that she's going to get herself, build capacity. I think there's a big terms that they use of the thing, in meaning get yourselves, a little more independent. That is how our local people would say it. Get yourself smarter than the man or so. But at the end of the day, when you do that, you're not only going to feel good about yourself, you're going to walk a little straighter, but you are going to be probably earning a little more. So there's plenty plus sides to it. If you get up in the morning, for a long time, I'd stopped exercising, not big exercise. I'm not a big weights person or so, but do a little, push-ups and so there. But I've started it back a couple of weeks now, and I feel very confident. I'm not so tired, although I have some very bad nights at times. Just a couple hours, but I'm back and I do what I have to do, because you have a purpose in your life. So I'm going to stop right there, and then we're going to go back to our callers right now. Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Hello.
Is this Kaieteur?
Yes, it's Kaieteur Radio, and you're on the Wake Up Guyana show. How may I help you, ma'am?
Okay, Mr. Gildarie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
It's concerning Guyana.
Guyana again, yes.
Yes. Every month I pay $2,000 every month because my meter was turned backward. Last week now they.
Wait a minute, turned backward.
It's reading backward. They didn't set it right. So now they tell me I gotta pay $19.50 instead of $19.50. I'm paying $2,000 every month. Now Monday they call me and they tell me that I owe $17,000. Mr. Gildarie, I'm a widow. My husband died 3 months now. I'm an old age pensioner. Where must I get that money? And I pay $2,000 every month to Guyana.
Well, I'm not sure how they did that. You have to appeal that. Did you go back to Guyana?
I went into them.
What is said?
Then take my bills them, and I know them go to the back, and whatever they do, and they come and they give it to me back.
And so everything is all right now?
Pardon me?
Everything is okay right now?
No, they called me Monday and told me I had to pay $17,000.
Well, you don't. You have, I think, on the GPL and GWI, you could appeal, and you have to appeal it if you don't agree with it. So you got to figure out a way in which between GWI head office, they could probably take it from there and let them understand that you're widow. You're also a pensioner.
Yes, I'm an old age pensioner.
No, man, no. You got to do that. You got to appeal to them there, and do not pay any extra money. I'm going to say that to you because you could appeal it. That's one, and two. I think the mere fact that you're a pensioner, that gives you some kind of benefits. So you need to appeal this. Maybe call the PR department, public relations department of GWI. Get yourself a telephone directory there, and get it and call them. They said people are not calling them, and so they need to call them, and they're going to take up the case.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And what are you doing for Christmas? Are you okay? Everything is all right?
Yeah, everything is. I don't have Christmas because only lately got my husband passed away.
How long was that?
September.
I want to say my deepest condolences. You miss him, no?
Oh, thank you.
You miss him?
I miss him bad.
All right, baby. As long as you got children and everything, they look after you and so?
No, I got one son. He's outside.
All right, but you have people around who love you, right?
Yeah.
Well, know that a lot of people in Guyana love you at the moment, especially from the Kaieteur News folks and the Kaieteur Radio folks. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And which area are you calling from?
Katrina.
Katrina, we got a lot of people across here, CI, a lot of people tuned into us every single day. I always have this pension of calling and so. So thank you very much. All right?
Okay. Have a blessed day.
And you too, and the season and the new year too. Until.
Okay. Same to you and your family.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So in the meantime, dear, I want to say good day to that lady. It's good to hear from that. Do I have time to take in? Do I have the time limit to take in a license to the police? If the police stop you and I don't have a license, do I have a time limit to take into the station? I'm going to answer it this way: if the police stop you and you don't happen to have your driver's license, you have it at home. It's still an offense to be without your driver's license. You could be charged for that. As to what charges it is, I don't know. But if there's a time limit, if they charge you for an offense, of course there's going to be a time limit. Maybe they would have to flex with you there. It's all up to the policeman. But if you don't have your driver's license, it's a ticketable offense. It could be a ticketable offense. It could be a bunch of stuff. But if they're not sure, you could tell the policeman anything. I think the standard procedure would be, if they stop you on the road, you don't have your driver's license, they don't know you, I think the standard procedure would be to hold the car until you go get your driver's license and come back. And if the policeman is so nice, he would allow you to go. The alternative to that is that somebody could send it to you via WhatsApp or some messenger if you have internet. The alternative to that is that you cannot drive that vehicle unless they're comfortable with it. But the minute that you turn up at the station or you're there and they ask you to see your driver's license, you don't have it, that's a charge or it's a finable offense right away. It's an offense under the law. I hope that has answered the question in many ways. And I think somebody, Pam Singh, is saying 24 hours for the license. I'm going to look back at this, but according to the laws, it's an offense. And so it all depends on the discretion of the police. Very, very quickly, do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, Leonard.
Good afternoon, sir.
I would like to help an old friend, man, in New Amsterdam. This man is 85 years old.
Yes, sir.
And he told me he got 10 children.
10 children?
10 children.
Yeah. And how old is he, 85?
85 years.
Yes, sir.
He was a pastor, he was a teacher, and he was a preacher.
Uh-huh.
So today, the man looking for his children. His name is Ruben Lam, known as Speed. I know it's called him really Speedy. I don't know if anybody listening knows Speed, Ruben Lam.
And this is in New Amsterdam he's living? Which street exactly?
Well, you can find him at Alexander Street. There's a shop shed.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes he's at a rum shop. But he's from the East Coast or somewhere, part of Georgetown or somewhere. The last time I spoke with him, it was Father's Day. I said, man, can you tell me when you ever work hard? He said, yes, when he was a kid, cut at Diamond. My brother, we don't know if we ever meet that age. We don't know what caused him to be like that.
What exactly does he want?
His family to come and collect him. Because we tried to get him at a old age place under the Kanji Bridge.
Uh-huh.
But the man, of course, walking about, and the man walked out to the place.
Oh, my. Yeah, that's the issue. We have many older folks like that. You can't tie them down. But I'm going to make sure, I think Ruben Lam. Speed in New Amsterdam. They're looking for his family, right. If anybody knows Lam. There's a lot of lamb around the place. I'm going to try to ask a couple of them. I think even our lady that is part of the political thing.
I'm glad if somebody could help him, Mom. I'm glad because at that age, you understand what's going on there. You need a lot of help. And Christmas coming, I probably think he wanted a little Christmas greetings. My brother talking about Christmas in Angais Avenue, known as Cowdam. There's hundreds of children will miss at this time Big Head. We all know who is Big Head.
Yes, Big Head is a guy from the hotel.
Yes, that has entertain a lot of children there time like this, buddy. I don't know who will be entertaining the children in the orphanage and the old people who is there. I don't know.
I thank you very much for raising, because sometimes in all our busyness, we keep forgetting that there are many vulnerable people out there, including the children as well. And we know what a joy it is for somebody, even if it's a little gift. Remember the caps gun and things like that, little things that we look forward to every year.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, dear sir, all the way from New Amsterdam, dear. And like I've always said, we have got to start. If it is that we could, be a little nice to our people, and sometimes it is not what could be happening to you, but sometimes we could be giving a little help to our people. The simple reason. I'm trying to pull up this quote here because it's so very, very important that I read it out to you. Glenn had me writing it down on the chalkboard recently. We have a little chalkboard in the office here, and I'm going to read it to you here right now because it reminds us that we're not all alone in this world, and sometimes if we really want to make our mark, leave a legacy, it is important that we be human as possible, and we help each other. The beauty of life, I repeat, the beauty of life does not only depend on how happy you are. The beauty of life does not only depend on how happy you are, but how happy others can be. But how happy others can be, all because of you. I go back that again. It's a very profound quote, and it did strike me. And this is how I want to live my life for the rest. People would call me stupid and crazy. Glenn thinks I'm crazy. The beauty of life does not only depend on how happy you are, but how happy others can be because of you. So there's a call online. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Sorry.
Hi. Hello. Okay, I think somebody is very sorry that they called. I'm not sure. Don't be sorry, man. Don't be sorry. Good afternoon, Mr. Gregory. This is about the trade wind song that Mr. Ladd is playing on the show, not giving up a blade of grass, etc. Is it not a little bit late for that? A more appropriate song should include another before the words, another blade of grass. I'm saying this because Guyana resources was and still continue to be taken away. It reminds me of the word one people, one nation, one destiny in a country that's racially divided. Also, Mr. Gregory, a driver's license on the phone is not acceptable because of the JPEG file that can be manipulated. Thank you very much for that. And you get the idea. It's very clear what the law says. You cannot twist the law. You cannot do anything about the law. If the law is there, maybe you'd have to tow it. Let's don't play around with the law. If that is it, you would not go to the United States of America and do that, or any other country where the police are very strict. You can't bribe the police officers over there. You do that, it's jail time for you. Bribing a police officer, you crazy? We have WRES. WRES, have you been locked up lately? Could you take? Okay, WRES.
They actually accept a picture as a driver's license. The reason why they accept it as it is, their technology is different in the US and Canada, because they'll take your phone as it is and they will run a scanner onto it. So they will already know that it is authentic, it is the right thing. Majority, well, don't use the word majority, but a lot of drivers use the picture on their phones. It's just like a credit card in the US. You don't need an actual credit card.
But that's the US in Guyana, we don't have those technology.
As you were trying to compare let me interject that with you. But honestly, it's a iffy situation. I think as we move to progress our country, these are simple things that we need to start doing for the want of this reason. Now, I'll be honest with you on this. There are many times that I leave home sometimes that first to begin with, I don't have a wallet.
You don't?
I don't.
Are we about to ask you for a raise to get
let me see. You can go as high as my phone. I can get my car key. You ain't got nothing in my pocket.
You know who has no walk with wallets and things like that?
I got a flash drive in my pocket.
You know who has no walk with a wallet and things like that?
Who's that?
Barjacked you.
No, I don't walk. I'm not barjacked here in this
I'm just kidding you, man.
He's coming here tonight, I think, 7:20.
7:20 is going to be here with you.
No, but my point is, I think we need to move ahead with time. And another thing, it comes like a couple of weeks back, a gentleman asked about the fast lane and slow lanes in Guyana. And I told him that we don't have, because I had that experience personally with officers explaining it to me on a television show. There are the simple things that we need to start looking into. What we need to understand today is the world, not Guyana alone, 10 years ago is different, right? Technology has advanced. With your single phone, everything is in your hand reach. 10 years ago, we didn't have a smartphone that we were using, did you? I'm sure about it. 10 years ago, a credit card was not on a cell phone. And very soon that will happen in Guyana. Very soon, because Canada is rolling out that technology for Scotiabank. We may soon do not need an actual piece of plastic. Your phone will do that. Brings me to the point. Down the road, we're thinking, these facilities and technology need to start putting into place, because it is a disadvantage. Yes, the law, and I respect the law at the end of the day, but there's sometimes that I'm in a rush that I just rush out from home to the gym, which is about 3 minutes away, and I gotta pass the Providence police station, and I may just step out and I don't have my wallet, or I don't have the holder that maybe I switched the car. There's a car blocking me in my yard, and I jump in and I go out. And I don't have my driver's license. If I do get stopped in an officer, I will explain to him, give me 10 minutes, I'm 2 minutes away from the police station, I'll bring it back. But it may not happen for everyone. So we need to look as the world changes, how we could implement these things. Because a picture ID card in a cell phone, it is acceptable in the US. As we're talking so much about the US, that we put the US as pinnacle, and we start to implement these things.
Well, those are very, very good points here, W.I. Riaz, and I think what is good that we start the conversation, because as you were talking there, I remember one of the things that really, really got me very upset. You know, I bought a stereo system. I don't keep big music. I don't like big music and things like that. After a hard day, you want soft music. And so I got one of these little boxes that has all the equalizers and everything. And it came with a microphone. Why I brought that up? Because
you didn't try singing by chance. You didn't try singing.
Yes, I did.
Oh, goodness.
Tom Jones.
Oh,
Tom Jones, the green grass of
I know that's what you were going to say.
I know, I told you guys about it. I love Tom Jones and Delilah and things like that. But to come back, I was drawing the parallel here with regards to the High Court. And you go in there and you hear the judges speaking so very quietly. You want to, excuse me, the only body that could hear them is the lawyer that's standing in front of them and the clerk that's sitting next door. And so why do you have a gallery when people can't hear you? Eventually they'll start getting these big recording system. That system that I bought is about $50,000-$60,000. We could not see it over this year. How much court we have?
Yeah.
How much millions of dollars that we throw away or allow contractors to steal and things like that. So sometimes priorities. And when it comes to technology and things like that, why would you not want the technology to work if you're
talking of technology? And something that I've been against since the very first day this was implemented, it was back in the days, and then it was reintroduced maybe about 10 years or even longer, probably. Why is it let us use 2020, are we still displaying our road service license with my full name, book name, whatever you want to call it, and my address at the front of my car? Why are we still doing that in Guyana?
You do that right now? Is it there? Don't say anything. Do not incriminate yourself, please.
Yeah. No, but this is... You are telling me, right? One them boys coming wrong. Where's the boy? Kevin Smith get a Knights Mitsubishi. Where we live in? 21 Saffron Street. All right, we know where Kevin live in.
I got your point there. And
no,
so
I've been against this since the very first day it was reintroduced. When I say reintroduced, back in the days we had a little wrong thing.
I remember that.
I saw that
in Grantier.
Good. Why is it in 2020? Why can't we be like Trinidad, Jamaica? Let us even don't go to the US. The US don't have that. What they have is a color code sticker.
Right.
What? Don't tell me that it can be. Don't come up and tell me that, you know what, we could fraudulently, because we could fraudulently do the road license too.
Thank you very much for that.
I'm against that.
Right.
Totally.
Some things to thought there was always W.I. Riaz, very practical on some ideas on how we run this country here. Good afternoon. After people don't like to clean their place and the NDC don't have time with you, they want money. And that's a tuition going on right now. Do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, calling on the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Good afternoon, Brother Leonard. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm calling from Borbies.
Borbies? What part of Borbies?
Port Morant.
Port Morant. What's happening?
Okay, it's nothing really, but I just call for just tell you. I'm reading the papers every day. I listen to the news. We got everything. We've seen everything. We're doing everything. What's going on? So why I call you? Just to let you know, we are very disturbed about certain things in the government.
Like what exactly?
Exactly, like we got Ashley saying, we got Brassington, they did so much wrong things, and the government still take them back again in government again for do such a big job again.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why it bothered me for know why is these people get people like them this again for go back in the government for do this kind of work again. It's very bothering.
Well, you know the reality. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to come tell you that none of these people here that you've called here were convicted of anything. It's all allegations. However, what you're saying there, I've been seeing a lot of questions being raised, even comments on this program here, people calling in and stating very clearly some of the things that made them very unhappy about some decisions that were taken, especially with regards to appointments. But go right ahead, though.
Yeah, because it's worrying me. Last night I sit up late for wait that the vice president and Mr. Lal we got some discussion, but it didn't.
It's tonight, this evening. It's tonight at 7:20 p.m.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you call that a discussion because it's going to be a lot of questions. It's going to be fiery as far as I'm here.
I know. I want to hear. I want to listen to it. Because as far as I'm concerned, my brother, Leonard, is a lot of things going on which wasn't comfortable for people.
Well, you see, it's a different thing because I happen to know how some of these parties work and so on. And when you believe that it might be the leader of the party who makes the decision, there's an executive and things like that. And sometimes the pressure that comes to bear. Because remember, like in the case of Irfan Ali is not the leader of his party. Jack Dio is.
I know.
So
yes.
Sometimes he might see something politically, a decision is taken to hide this man here. It might not be Irfan Ali who's taking it while he is the president. So these are things.
Politics is such a difficult thing.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, as citizens, we could raise issues that bother us, and you know what? This is a good thing about the Wake Up Guyana show. I don't care which political party you're from or whatever it is that you say. When it comes to the development of this country, you have your thing. So thank you very much, madam, for your thing.
Yeah, brother, and I thank you so much, and have an enjoyable weekend.
You too, and if I don't talk back to you, good Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. So all the way from Berbice. We have a lot of people from all over the place, right up in Berbice there, Port Moran. And, we had this guy calling not too long ago from an incident in the Rosal area. I want to say good day. We haven't forgotten you, Esquivel Coast. Region 10. How is it Linden doing today? I'm not sure whether you're catching us there on the normal airwaves, but you can also get us on Kaieteur Radio, on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. Coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio 99.1 and 99.5 FM right now. There's a call online. Good afternoon, caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Mr. Gildarie?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Man, you're the most difficult person to make contact with.
Why? I try to accommodate. I think I put... Yeah.
I've been trying for the past 3/4 of an hour to get into this program. I got a problem here with my son. He works with the Region 6.
This RDC?
Sanitary Department.
Oh, the Sanitary Department, yes.
Right? There is an individual by the name of Gindial. They call him Marvin. You understand? For no reason at all, there is an ethnicity problem with this guy.
Well, we gotta deal. Look, this kind of program here with those ethnic things is a very, very touchy issue. I'm not sure.
I know that.
We gotta be very careful with it. But look,
that's why
we gotta be careful because when we name it and thing, what we're doing is pasting this guy onto a wall without him having. And I gotta be fair to that man too, right? Without him having a say. But basically, there's an issue there at the Sanitary Department. How do we deal with it?
Okay, listen. Let me tell you the problem. 3 months now, this guy made a telephone call to the finance department at the region here, right? Holding up the payment. You understand?
The payment for who? For a contract or for salary?
No, your salary, your monthly salary, your payment.
Right.
You understand? Hold it up. Right? We go through the norms, got to the boss. The boss call him in, ask him the reason for what he's doing. He's claiming that he never had no report for COVID. which it's not part of the job description.
Why is your son not making this thing, or why is he not addressing this in a different forum, maybe to the PR, to the HR department, the Human Resources department, or so?
It reached all to that stage.
And
I'm going to tell you something here now. This guy was instructed, you understand, to send a letter to the region clearing the salary from since October month. That's 3 months now. He refused to do it. You know? Yeah.
Could you go see a gentleman by the name of Mr. Zamal Hussein?
Zamal Hussein?
Zamal Hussein is the vice chairman.
I know Zamal personal.
Yes, go see him. Tell him that you spoke with me. Did you already go see him?
No, I haven't went to him as yet.
Go see him with this issue here. Carry your son and whoever it is, and maybe you could ask him to look into it. Because some of these things could be handled right there and then. I understand what you're saying there, and sometimes we have people who take advantage. But like I said before, in the absence of this other gentleman here not being able to have his say, because I don't know, there are two sides to every story, I would suggest, because it looks as if something went wrong here, ask Mrs. Zamal Hussein to look into this matter for us.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. Right, any other issue quickly?
Pardon me?
Any other issue?
No, it's just that I wanted this matter to clear up.
All right, thank you very much. And I understand that you want to look out for your son, and so
yes,
do that and let us see. And I would love to hear whether it's been resolved. In the meantime, if I don't talk back to you, all the best for the season and a Happy New Year to you.
The same to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye. Good afternoon, Brother Leonard. First and foremost, I love the Wake Up Guyana show, and you're my number one host. Today's show with Guyana will be a hot one. Can you prep our sister Guyana and show where the mute button is located? I know she might need to play the referee tonight. I'm looking forward to the show. Stay tuned and God bless. Thank you very much for that. I'm not sure. I think the Glenn knows exactly what he wants, and he has some very clear ideas. When you own a newspaper, when you own a media station, it takes a different kind of folks to be involved in this business. Remember, if you got to carry a story, I remember us being, family members of Glenn, even family members involved and staffers and so on, and you got to report the matter. And that staffer who's involved there would have to recuse himself, even Glenn Lyle, and the story goes to the staffers. And if they make a decision, the reporters make a decision collectively for this story to go, even Glenn Lyle can't stop it sometimes. So it takes a different kind of persona to be there, and he's very, very set in his ways, how he wants to see this country. Sometimes you get very crazy with him, but you understand at the end of the day, he wants this country in a particular way, and it's a good thing that you have media houses, even though they may be alone in the fight. When it comes to what is good for this country, even though you may be criticized, even by the own people around you, if you believe it is the right thing, then like life, if you believe you're right in what you're doing, stand up, because that's what makes you man. That's what separates you from the rest of the folks. It may be good for the best or for the rest of humanity there. And tonight, I think you're going to see a display by Glenn, I rather presume, of asking some of the questions he's been asking through the newspaper, the Kaieteur newspaper, and so I expect it to be good. And then, kudos to Bar Jack Dio to taking on the challenge. You're very eloquent, man, and I believe he could be able to hold his own on any kind of against two the best. Guyana in no pushover, and Glenn is going to be very aggressive. Let's see what happens. There's a caller in line. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Concerning GWI.
I
live in Belly Village.
Uh-huh.
I got a main on the road break. This is over 2 months. I make so much a report. And up to today, they can't come and look after it. They see what we're doing on the road. The water wasting so much.
All right. Okay, 1 second. Let me just second. I'm going to take this from you right away. Colin Kroll. I'm going to send this to Colin Kroll as the Minister of Housing and Water right away. What is the name of the area? Bel Air?
Bel Air Village.
Bel Air Village?
Yes.
Yeah, which street?
The main road.
Main road? Any specific area along the main road?
No, the main road. The Main
in front of
Old
where?
Road, Old Road.
Old Road. Main Old Road.
I have a reference number and everything, and these people now coming up to
Okay, reference number. What's the reference number?
It's 101
101
676
676
050.
050. And for 1 month, you said 1 month?
Over 2 months now.
Okay, let me put it. I sending this to the minister right now. 2 months now. Water leaking. Water spilling out.
Running, not leaking, running.
Oh gosh, I like your style. Running, you correct me.
Running, yes.
And no payments on GWI.
Yes.
And when you call them, what they said, they're sending somebody.
Yes.
That's a madness that happens here. All right. I sending this to, is there a number that well, in any case, let me see. I'm sending this to the minister right now. People asking, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. If I don't talk back to you, ma'am, enjoy your Christmas and may you have a good high.
Okay?
Good, bye-bye. People asking for attention. 1 second. So before we do that and we go back to the call, let's see a couple of the messages from our people here today. You're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. Let me see. Hi there. One more thing. My father received champion work at iFlot Estate in 2017 and did not receive anything. Does Gaisuko owe him something in return for his service? He's an NIS pension now. I'm not sure. Champion work, maybe there's an incentive that they give to you. I can't tell you. I don't know. He probably needs to get on to maybe what you could do. Let me see if there's a. Let me see if there's a number there. Call me after the show here, maybe around 5 o'clock, and maybe I could probably get a number for you that you could ask the Gaisuko management for something like that. Before we go to another call, very quickly, driver's license is not accepted in phones in Toronto, Canada. The person sent a couple of linkages here. The police in the U.S. wants to hold a license in their hand to make sure it hasn't been tampered with or is a fake. There are a lot of forgeries with license in the United States, and thank you very much for that. Very quickly, good afternoon, Leonard. Season's greetings to you and the entire staff of Kaieteur Radio. Just want to let you know, yes, I made a complaint to your GPL panel. Already got a response from them. Very, very good. I told them very clearly, do not come onto this program here and it's a showbiz for you, or it is an opportunity for you to look good. This is not what it's for. Make sure that you take the people's complaints and you get back to them. And I think the deputy CEO, Sam Ramtahal, would have made it very clear that that's what they're doing. So thank you very much. GPL actually acting. There's a call online. Good afternoon, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, Kaieteur Radio. You're live on air right now.
News to Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, it is. Yes. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Did we miss a call here? They gone? Hello. Hello. I think we missed that call. My apologies. I really want to talk to that lady. She sounds so very happy. I'm not sure. Good afternoon from Champagne. I think Champagne is Maikoni. Happy holidays. Champagne, Maikoni, dear. You got to know your geography in this country. Some beautiful places across this country. And I want to say good day to the beautiful people in Champagne, Maikoni. I hope that you're cooking and you're enjoying yourself and you're doing a lot of cleaning. There's some rains right now. I know it's going to disrupt a lot of stuff that's happening. Very quickly, let me see what is happening. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. We need police patrol. And Diamond News scheme from 7 to 9 p.m. day. They got a bunch of youths riding on bicycle, riding up to people's vehicle and then dash out. Thank you very much there. And Mr. Harper down in the Diamond police station there, the people are saying that the youngsters are dashing in and out of the traffic there on their bicycles, creating havoc there, and then it's dangerous for them as well as the other people. There's a caller online. Good afternoon, caller. Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Have a blessed day, sir.
Same to you, sir. Go right ahead.
Sir, I must listen at this radio every day and never get through.
Man, you don't get through to us? Man, I'm really sorry, man. Something is going on right now with our phones. People don't have credit or something, but there's a caller. Let's see what happened. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir. Season greetings to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Same to you.
I'm very concerned about the situation. I complained to the NDC it all here. I'm living in Kaupin Street Echoes, and several times I've made a complaint about this traffic here, so we need a hump here right now.
Because
This is a harmful
we had
leader.
an accident here yesterday, and the person who wrong said it right. They're speeding, and we have a lot of little children in the streets.
This is a carpentry that is
This
leading.
is the Cowpen Street, yes, where you have the wildlife, 4 corner. You have another corner if you come in north. And if you look here, there's a big hole right now, and all the traffic coming through. And afternoon, you can't walk on the road, and the 88-year-old and 90-year-old got to run in the mud. Sometimes I was going to escort them. I tell the traffic, I got to wait. Children come with bicycle, I got to wait on them and stop the traffic now and let the children pass with the bicycle, tricycle, or whatever.
Thank you very much for that.
So
here, what did the NDC say?
They say they're going to look into the matter, and I went to last year's meeting, and up to now I didn't see anything, but I'm so afraid somebody...
All right, here what you're going to do.
When they do look into the situation, we need an urgent situation here.
Here what you're going to do for me. 226-1875. 226-1875. That number never get out of my head. I used to call Robertson Ben and disturb him when he was the Minister of Public Works a couple of years back. 1875.
226-1875. Who to ask for?
That is the minister. I think is either Deodatindar or let me see who's the other one. Wanejil. So you could ask for Deodatindar. He's very aggressive and so on. I know Wanejil is very thick. But ask to speak to him or somebody who's working with him there and tell them what you complain. Tell them you spoke with us and if they could act on this. And I'm sure he's going to get a message too.
All right. Thank you so much for your kind cooperation.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a pleasant rest of the day. So very, very quickly there, all the folks down right in the Eccles area on these Bank of Demerara over the river, CI, Purika, Vredenhoop, La Parfait, Harmony. You had a gentleman who used to call me a lot about the water situation, very angry about, what's happening with the utility. I want to say good day to you, sir, all the way to West Bank, Sisters Village, Potential, there, canal number 1 and number 2, Bell West, Bellevue. How are you guys doing there today? I hope that you're preparing, that you're keeping safe. Hi, good afternoon. I'm just asking about the 2 weeks for the public servant. I was made to understand that it's only the police and GDF. Yes, we have not received anything or saw any notice with regards to public servants. I'm sure that the government is paying attention. Let us see if anything comes out, but we are going to tell you if anything comes out. But so far, no, nothing. There's a call online. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Hello. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good.
Yes. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. You're on the air right now. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just calling for explain certain things, right?
Yes.
I want to tell you that all these people talking, calling on this program and talking and shit, I wonder if they ever got a school and a study that wanted. Pardon?
No, you said you wonder if they ever go to school and study what?
If these person who calling in for this program, and if they got a school and study that wherever they're calling and talk, if they make nonsense or sense with what they're calling in and saying. Because everybody calling, what is government doing? What is government doing? What is government? Why they don't talk since when Bonham been in power for 28 years? Why they don't talk what's been going on between them times? Now CVP in power, all them running and
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who you believe the people there? Remember that they had a long time back, I think was CN Sharman, and I think at one point in time he was so very, very popular. Well, I'm not sure the word popular might be applicable here, but he was one of the most looked television program back in those days because radio wasn't that very then. It's only now the radio gotten back this year because people wanted an avenue to vent the feelings. And sometimes, the government of the day is the most criticized set of people. And I'm just raising that with you, just to allow you to know that the people, the same people who might have lauded them and encouraged for this government to be sworn in their finale are going to be the same one asking them to ensure that they deliver. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but listen to me. Next thing. These Afro-Guyanese.
Afro-Guyanese? No, sir, they're Guyanese.
Afro-Guyanese.
No, sir.
What?
No, sir.
Why did,
No, sir. Listen to me. Guyanese. I don't want to hear the Afro-Guyanese.
okay. Why did behave on this racial
It's not only that. Sorry, I think you're going down the wrong road. You and I, let me don't go down that road. Let's cut the call. Let me before we think. I don't. If you're gonna call through to this program here, let's set some ground rules. There should be no ethnic kind of statements, and with all due respect to that man, I think he wants to make a point, but there's a couple of things that we got to be very clear. This is one country. We have one people in this country. We don't have two people or three people, Afro-Guyanese, Chinese. I know this is how people would say it, and maybe they talk about that in the backyards and so on. When you're on the national television, national programs and so, we all Guyanese. When you go to the United States and you land at JFK, Guyanese is stamped in the passport. Guyana as a country. When they ask you what's your nationality, I'm Guyanese. You don't have Afro-Guyanese or Indo-Guyanese or half Skal Portuguese or whatever it is there. It doesn't have that. Let's get this thing very clear. And so it is not one set of people. It's both sides of the divide is going to be looking into talking about things, criticizing things and so. And they're going to be angry about the other side. We could take another call, but let's be very respectful on this program here. I don't want this license to be yanked on as a result of what Gildarie would have been allowing on this program. I don't allow that. And our people who's been with us from day one has been very respectful. I'm not saying that man was disrespectful, but maybe he doesn't know. And want to make it very clear so we can understand on the way forward that we could be able to have conversation, but let's have clean conversation. Very quickly, there's a call. Last call in the air. Go right ahead, caller.
Gildarie, how are you, man?
Pretty good, sir. Go right ahead.
You know, that gentleman tried to make a point, but the point that he's making,
I rather believe so.
if he get onion and rice to eat, the government there, he go eat salad, rice, and onion. But we don't want salad, rice, and onion. We want good food to eat. And the money that them get, it must flow and come in the people's pocket. You understand?
Yes, sir.
He just making himself a fool sometimes. These people, me want when if he been at school, the way how he attack, he never been at school. But he was trying to make a point there, but he point to bring Afro-Guyanese.
Guyanese, that's a full stop. And I think we got to understand, we got to start changing our culture, changing our mentality.
There's a thing there. You can't say Afro-Guyanese, you got to say the Guyanese to a certain section.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that. If we want to heal this country, we got to. It starts with us, sir. It starts with us. All right.
Well, tonight we're going to hear Mr. Barjak there with the eye.
Yes, let's do that. Well, we come down
I want you to tell Mr. Your boss, what's his name again?
Glenlal.
Let her open the line that people can call and question Barjak too.
Well, I kind of like that. I'm gonna make sure that I mention it too.
It is makes sense. He's not going to talk and talk there. The guy know Guyana will put it up. And the young lady will put it up. And the young man will put it up. What? They must say, okay, we're going to take a call. Let me hear what the person has to say.
No problem. I'm going to make sure I mention that to Mr. Glenlal. And thank you very much.
Every minute or 2 minutes or so. You take the call like every 50 minutes. And the call must be very quick.
Yes.
Minute and so.
I thank you very much for that. We're out of time now. Thank you very much, sir.
Good, man. Have a nice Christmas.
You too, my brother. All the best.
All right. Bye.
So in the meantime, you know, Gildarie his tone went up a little on an octave higher today. And, you know, we're all one country. It is one people, one nation, one destiny. That's what the coat of arms says. Got to be very, very careful. I think we all want to make our contributions, and we're all angry at what we see. But don't let's paint, the whole picture with one brush. I think there are many decent, thousands of decent Guyanese people who want to help this country move forward, and it's good to have the conversation and let's talk about it. There's going to be some exception to the rules, and it happens on both sides or all sides of the divide that we have in this country here. So we got to be tolerant, and we got to understand at the end of the day, like I said, if you land in any other country, your passport, if you do happen to have one, it says nationality Guyanese. It doesn't say black Guyanese, Indian Guyanese, Chinese Guyanese, Amerindian Guyanese. It does not say that. It says Guyanese. Remember that, and let us, as we move forward with this beautiful country of ours, let us do things the right way. Let's change the way we think. Let's change our culture. Let's start pushing for the better of this country. This evening, 7:20, Glenn Lal, Bar Jagdio, Kiana Wilberg. And the Guyana Oil and You, and that's supposed to be very hot. Make sure that you tune in because there's going to be questions and so being asked here. We've unfortunately run out of time today on the Wake Up Guyana show with your host Leonard Gildarie. Tomorrow we're going to be with the show with you again, once again, to open the lines and to have you send those comments as normal. If you've missed some of your comments today, it's because, sometimes it's so many, we want to accommodate all, but time constraint, it is what it is. So do happen to have a pleasant rest of the day. We hope that you stay safe, wear your mask, and if you're doing shopping for Christmas, make sure you buy something for me, maybe some apple, and eat it for me too. And until then, until tomorrow, I want to say thank you very much to the guys in the studio, to Kevin Smith and so on, who's been keeping us company throughout today. We're missing one other person, can't call his name. He hasn't been able to cook for us, but stay safe until then, and have a pleasant rest of the day.